Oh, that's it, Tracy. Take your time. Have another cup of coffee while Rome burns. Listen, you might even be able to squeeze in a massage.
I'm not hearing you.
You have officially run out of time. You gotta get Lulu over here and tell her the truth.
My focus is on Luke today. Go away.
This is about Luke. Lulu is Luke's daughter. And if she shows up at the court hearing, which in all probability she will, seeing as the guardianship of her mother is at stake, one of two things is going to happen. Either she's going to lose it and blurt out that Scott killed Rick, or she's going to hear that Luke raped Laura. In either case, Luke's world is going to come crashing down around his ears, and the only way you can minimize the danger
is the ghost in residence.
I am.
Sweetheart, I don't have time to be haunted today. I have much bigger fish to fry, namely you.
I understand it must bring up some pretty bad memories looking at my brother. You know, I'm virtually looking at the same face as the man who terrorized you.
It's not your fault, Mr. Jax. It's just a bizarre, no one could have predicted a coincidence.
Well, be that as it may, I am not, oblivious to your difficulty. You're very valuable to Carly and I. We certainly want you to stay on here. But if Jerry turns out to be too much for you, I will personally find you a job somewhere else.
We don't want to lose you because Jack's brother bears an unfortunate resemblance to Mr. Craig.
Jerry Jax is trying to prove. He's trying to prove that he's not James Craig. That he had the bad luck to choose the wrong plastic surgeon, that he was on the other side of the world during the hostage crisis. This is, come on, Sonny. Carly and Jax are starting to go along with this whole thing.
Ridiculous things I've ever heard. I know you want Jerry dead, but that subject is like number 2 on the list. Number 1, we have to make sure that nothing ties us to Alcazar's disappearance.
This guy hasn't seen fit to file a missing persons report, even though Alcazar's been gone for days now. I think maybe he just vanished into thin air, especially since his jet has now left the Port Charles airport. The Venezuelan authorities have no record of him even entering the country.
Sounds like Sonny and Jason finally got their man.
Well, the crime's been committed. We are obligated to investigate.
Thanks for the heads up.
Look, I'm going to get a warrant together. You put a team together and make sure they move as soon as it comes through.
I'm on it.
Morgan.
Clear-eyed. Nice suit. You look handsome, husband.
I'm glad you approve, wife.
And hopefully the judge is a woman and she will find you as devastating as I do.
Look, don't bother wasting any more time to ask Luke permission to speak to Lulu, because you won't get it.
What's this? What are we doing?
We need to have a serious conversation.
Okay.
This custody hearing is going ahead despite our best efforts to stop getting guardianship of Laura. Is Scott Baldwin's reason to live, and he is going to bring up every devastating aspect of your life in order to get it.
I know.
Good. That's a start.
So, are you going somewhere with this?
Tell Lulu.
No.
Luke!
Tracy, I've thought it through. I'm not going to do it.
Well, then let me. Because Lulu is going to find out one way or another.
Find out what?
Gumdrop is going to get ugly in court today. I don't want you there.
Thanks.
So, what do you say?
Well, Scott's gonna try and force me to sign over guardianship of Laura by exposing that Luke raped her. But Alexis has managed to keep the courtroom closed and the record sealed, so as long as Lulu's not in the courtroom, then she may never know, right?
You know what? Normally I'm in favor of full disclosure, but I don't know if Lulu can handle the truth this ugly on top of everything she's been through.
Well, maybe I can keep her away. I can just call her and tell her that I need help with Jake.
If eyes could shoot daggers, Elizabeth would be dead setting up. So unless you've decided to confront her about having Jason's baby, you need to do a better job of covering.
Alcazar's gone. There's no trace of him.
We cannot underestimate Rick's ability to nurse a vendetta, especially the one he has against you. He knows you're never going to give up. So following my brother's twisted logic, if he can find evidence that you killed Alcazar, then he will prosecute you for murder, right? So that way he doesn't have to go against me.
Okay, there's nothing to find. There's nothing to find, but I
I'm
agree
just
that
saying.
Rick is an ongoing threat.
What we need to do is get the evidence that Alcazar had against Rick. That way we can keep Rick under control.
And I'm already working on that.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Mr. Krenzel. Sorry, I have an update for Stone Cold. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I compiled a list of Alcazar's bank records and safety deposit box, and it.
Are you? Since when do you trust this fruit cup to do our business?
What's so fascinating?
Oh, it's just notes on emotion. Look at you. Back in the game, huh?
I'm representing Nicholas in the Laura Spencer guardianship matter.
Oh, that should be a slam dunk. Since Scott has no legal title, Laura.
Sometimes legalities are beside the point.
Well, if you're good enough to prove that Jerry Jackson and James Craig are two different people, making sure that Laura's son stays on as her guardian should be a piece of cake. For what it's worth, it's good to see that you're feeling so well.
It's worth absolutely nothing to me unless you return my daughter. If not, save the compliments.
I'm in the odd position of having to apologize for my face, and I do profusely. I mean, it's a difficult situation to be around, and I suppose I could use back exits or wear a fake mustache.
Jerry,
What do you
this
think?
really isn't about you. I'm just trying to make sure that my staff is comfortable.
Comfortable might take a while, okay? But I don't have a problem working here. Once you get past the superficial resemblance, it's clear that Mr. Jax is a much gentler soul than James Craig.
Oh, well, I appreciate the vote of confidence.
Marty, thank you. We don't want to run this hotel without you.
Jax, could we talk for a moment?
Sure. Excuse me.
Could you at least pretend that you're happy to see your long-lost brother?
You're gonna have to get used to the fact that I'm not gonna go out of my way to protect you. Okay? I'm lying through my teeth, and your victims, I'm calling in favors. It's really quite fun for me.
You know what? Your marriage hasn't improved your disposition, you know?
You want me to be happy?
No, I want us to be happy and move on.
Is that how you operate? You create havoc with people's lives, and then you just go on your merry way?
That's right.
I suppose I'm not one to talk, am I? I'm living proof of what a person will do unexpectedly for someone. I mean, just look at how far I'll go in the name of family. I can just turn a blind eye and excuse the inexcusable. You know, because of my loyalty to you, Jerry, or maybe my stupidity, you may never pay for the crimes you've committed. And if this matters at all to you, you were right about one thing. We may be family, but you're not the brother I loved. You're a stranger.
Of course, I'm going to court today. Mom's whole family needs to be there to support Nicholas and make sure that the judge knows that Mom wouldn't want Scott Baldwin making decisions for her.
Well, since you bring up what your mother would want, I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt, she would not want you in that courtroom listening to Baldwin spew a lot of toxic poisonous garbage.
Scott is going to use every aspect of your mother's life to make your father look monstrous, and then she's going to start on Nicholas, and then Alexis is going to do the same thing to him. In short, the afternoon promises to be an horrendous combination of painful and tedious.
Okay, all right. I get that you're trying to help, but this is a Spencer family issue, and I'm a Spencer, so I'm gonna be in court today.
Lulu, if I could just offer a little bit of my own experience. My children had to sit in court and listen to all of my deepest, darkest secrets being dragged out, and believe me, no mother wants that.
You know, Monica's right. Now, you are a very strong-willed young woman, but there are times when you should listen to your elders.
Oh, but this is my mother that we're talking about. Why can't you guys understand that I need to do this?
Hey, Scott. Scott!
Listen, Bobby, I don't want to have this fight with you. You and I have crazy about you, and we're more than just friends, but when it comes to Luke and Laura, you're on that side of the fence, I'm on the other side. There's nothing you're going to say or do that's going to flip me over to your side,
Scott,
okay? So
you
let's...
are right. You are right. We are more than friends, which is exactly why I understand how you think. How you rationalize your own worst behavior and you try to convince yourself it's for someone else's good, which is exactly what you're going to try to do today.
Well, Bobby, in your loyalty to your brother, I mean, you have to admit that he has caused Laura quite a bit of pain over the years.
You know what? Luke has made some terrible mistakes, and so has Laura. But they forgave each other. That's the part that you can't seem to grasp.
Yeah, well, because of what your brother has done, Laura is unable to speak for herself now.
Yeah, so who died and left you the right to speak for her? Scott, Laura loved Luke, not you. If she had, she would have stayed with you.
Well, let's not get that personal here, okay?
It is personal. You're dragging Laura's most painful secrets out in open court for your own vindictive purposes. What about her children? What about her only daughter, who is going to be so devastated when she hears the ancient history that you are so determined to dredge up? Scott, please stop. Just stop and think about this. If Laura were to wake up tomorrow, would she thank you? Or would she finally turn against you for good?
Look, Lulu will see right through any conveniently timed invitation to go help with the kids.
Well, I can try. I mean, if I can just get her to the park, I can maybe distract her long enough to keep her away from the courthouse. But it will only work once. If this trial goes on for days, she's eventually going to hear the truth.
Well, according to Alexis, I should be able to retain guardianship. And once the judge makes the decision and the records are sealed, then we can just put this behind us. Yeah, but what if Scott decides to tell Lulu about the rape just to get back at Dad?
Hey, one crisis at a time. And first, Nicholas has to stay put as Laura's guardian.
Well, it would certainly help if I could fight for my mother without having to worry about my sister's heart being ripped to shreds.
Okay, so I've got it. The perfect way to reconnect with Jason. I am going to take him for a picnic in the park.
Sonny Spinelli has proven that he's trustworthy. He helped me go in after the hostages, and he's come through with any research that I've ever needed, ever.
Yes, I'm wingman to Stone Cold's fighter pilot. Like, we're a team.
You may be computer smart, but you're a real world stupid. And your mouth moves about 10 times faster than your brain, which is why a lot of stupid stuff comes out. Unless you really are nursing some secret pain.
What are you talking about?
I think Mr. Corinthos may have misinterpreted. If you concerned words.
Shut up.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a few minutes to, talk to your new protege.
What are you doing?
What do you do? Okay, no, it's true. It's true. I did mention... Yeah, I did mention your secret pain by mistake in passing to Mr. Corinthos, but I didn't reveal anything. I would never, ever reveal that you're the true father of the baby. I'm sorry.
I understand I'm in disgrace, but barring a full confession of my crimes as Mr. Craig, which I can assure you isn't going to happen, there's very little I can do besides play the bluff out and rely on you two to continue to support me.
It's a little late to back out now, but we don't have to like it.
I asked Edward and Monica Quartermain to come by. In case you've forgotten, they're the father and the wife of the man you forced to walk to his death.
Oh, come on. I let the man go. I'm not the one who clogged his arteries. I mean, it's the best I could do under the circumstances.
I need to talk to Logan. Make sure security doesn't shoot you on sight.
Good.
Hey,
Hi.
you guys were having some problems with Mr. Jax's brother?
Yes, that's him staying next to Jax. Take a good look at his face. He's identical to the man who held this hotel hostage, so the staff is understandably on edge.
That makes sense.
Well, with you guys around, they're going to feel safe. Can you excuse me, please? Hi.
Hi.
Did Jax explain to you why he needed to see you guys?
It was something about clearing up some confusion before it starts.
Yeah, I'm going to let him explain everything to you.
Hello.
Hey.
So, Jax, what's this all about?
Edward, Monica, I want to reintroduce my brother. He recently had major plastic surgery. And he's also the subject of a police investigation.
Excuse me, but what does that have to do with us?
Well, it's going to be sounding ludicrous, but the police are mistaking me for Mr. James Craig.
Far be it for me to tell you about your man, but Jason doesn't strike me as the sit on a blanket with ants type of guy.
No, okay, maybe not, but he does love the outdoors. And when we were in Hawaii, we used to do these picnics on the beach all the time. They were amazing. We had so much fun. And that was a long time ago, and this is about today. It's about today. It's about today.
I'm still not clear on why you suddenly want to take Jason on a picnic.
Okay, I found out that Elizabeth is taking the kids to the park, and I was hoping that maybe I can convince Jason to go and arrange for him to bump into his son.
I mean, are you trying to get back at Jason by putting him in proximity to the child he gave up without consulting him?
No, of course not. I want Jason to tell me the truth. I want him to tell me that he is Jake's father so I can forgive him and convince him to do what he should have done in the beginning.
Claim his child?
Yes, that's right.
Well, then what? Elizabeth bows out gracefully and you and Jason raise Jake together? Is that the fantasy?
I don't want to hear that you're mouthing off to Sonny or anybody else about my secret pain or anything that is personal to me.
Yes. Look, your secrets, including and especially the true paternity of baby Jake, they're sacred to me, okay? But I couldn't help noticing that Mr. Grenthler seems pretty well equipped to handle a supreme confidence. So, I don't know, maybe if you did confide in him, he could maybe...
This is my situation.
Yeah.
Mine.
Yes.
Not Sonny's, not yours. No. Keep your mouth shut.
Everything straightened out here?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The jackal is...
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Hold on. I want him to keep searching for whatever Alcazar had on Rick. He's our best chance. I'm telling you right now.
You may be willing to put your life and future in Spinelli's hands, but can I tell you something? I'm not.
Hey. Hey. I came because you said it's important, but it's pretty obvious that you're using the kids as a diversion to keep me away from the hearing.
Why are you always so suspicious? I do need help with the kids, and I wanted to talk to you.
Oh, why?
Well, I thought that maybe we could figure out what went wrong between the two of us and fix it once and for all.
That's already done. It is. I'm very happy for you and Lucky, and you guys are back on track, and you have beautiful kids, and as long as you really love Lucky, then...
No, but see, that's just it. You always say that. If you love Lucky, why do you doubt it?
Because you turned on a dime, Elizabeth. I'm sorry, but even now I have to wonder if your reunion with my brother is more about this new baby than it is about loving Lucky.
Hey, Dad. Oh, Lulu, she's spending the afternoon in the park with Elizabeth, so don't worry. She's not going to come near this farce of a hearing.
Oh, thank you. That helps. You know what's going to come out here today. Maybe you ought to go to the park, too. Or at least try to get another shift or something.
I don't judge you for what happened between you and Mom before I was even born. I mean, Baldwin, he's the ass that stirred the pot.
You have the moral high ground. Okay? You can afford to stay lovable and pleasant. The more reasonable you appear, the worse Scott's gonna look.
Hi.
You ready for battle?
I don't think I have much of a choice at this point.
Everybody here is on your side. And for whatever my word is worth, I am prepared to testify that Laura was definitely in her right mind when she chose you as her guardian. And that you have done a wonderful job.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too. Thank you.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Rogers presiding.
It's about to get messy, wife. You sure you want to be there?
There's no place I'd rather be.
So the police are investigating Jerry for the hostage crisis at the Metro.
No. They're investigating James Craig.
No, Jax just said that.
I don't give a damn what Jack said. He's clearly covering for his brother. And if Jerry looks like Craig, then that means he is Craig, and that makes him Alan's murderer.
You sent my husband staggering to his death. Do you know that?
I'm sorry, it wasn't me.
Do you expect us to believe that the man who terrorized my son into death just happens to look exactly like your brother?
Yes, I do. It's the absolute truth.
You're full of crap.
Edward,
and you're guilty of sin.
Why would Jerry be sticking around? Okay, he's being investigated. Right now, Forensics Lab is matching the DNA to the blood found in the restaurant. I mean, anyone with a half a brain would be long gone by now instead of sticking around waiting for that axe to fall.
We don't expect you to take our word for it. But the investigation will reveal itself.
I've never met James Craig, and the first time I heard about him was when I first came to Port Charles. And nevertheless, I'm truly sorry for your loss. I really am.
Thanks for meeting me. I know you're busy.
I'm in the process of getting a warrant, but I can wait. What do you need?
Well, I was going to take your advice and file a missing persons report on Alcazar. I was hoping maybe you could walk me through the whole process.
Sure, I'd be happy to. I don't suppose since Alcazar's disappearance that you've gone through any of his papers or gone in his safe, anything like that?
I mean, have I found the incriminating evidence that Lorenzo had on you? No, I haven't. Not yet. But I'll keep looking.
Whatever Alcazar had on Rick, we're talking about valuable ammo, okay? And I doubt Alcazar kept it at his house. It'd be too easy for Rick to find.
And destroy.
Okay, where are the safe deposit boxes you found on
Okay, one in the First Port Charles Bank, 3 in Manhattan, 1 in D.C., and 4 in Caracas.
Were any of them opened in late? Nope. Not having this conversation with this guy. I'm gonna call Stan.
No, with all due...
Get your hands.
Sorry. With all due respect, Mr. Crinto, sir, G9000 has a thing on the
Listen, email what you got to Stan. Keep looking. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Okay, whatever you guys got going on, personal stuff, that's up to you. But he is too unstable to be involved in our business.
I trust him. What does it matter where the information comes from if we get the information?
You trust, now you're worrying me, and I'll tell you right now, you've been a little, distracted lately, a little sloppy. And trusting Spinelli is prime example. So I'm asking you right now, did you make any mistakes when you took out Alcazar? Because if you did, we got to talk about it right now.
Hi, sorry to bother you. How do you feel about a picnic in the park?
Am I biased, or is Jake the cutest baby you've ever seen? Yes, you are biased. And yes, he is absolutely beautiful. And I do understand that you want what's best for Jake and Cam, but you've asked Lucky to invest himself, heart and soul, and he has. And I just think that, you know, he deserves the same in return. Lucky and I both spiraled out of control last summer. Lucky's addiction was obvious and in your face, and my dysfunction wasn't as apparent, but the one thing I held on to was my children. I wanted the best for Cameron and Jake, the best lives I could give them. I didn't want two parents just gritting their teeth trying to keep up appearances, because that's what I had to live with, and I didn't want to inflict that on my children. But Lucky and I are human. We've both made mistakes. And if I could go back, maybe I would have handled things differently. But the fact is, I love your brother as much as I ever have. And he is the best father my sons could ever have. Agreed? Well, I actually gotta go. Okay, but wait, just one more thing. You know your brother loves you. And you know that he would pretty much walk through fire to keep you from feeling any pain. And he takes his role as protective big brother very seriously. Do you think you could just make him happy and do what he and the rest of the family want? You mean stay away from the hearing? Please.
I heard Sky finally filed a missing persons report.
Yes, giving the police probable cause to search Alcazar's residence. And in case there's any question as to the admissibility of whatever we happen to find there, duly executed warrant. It's becoming increasingly apparent to me that Mr. Alcazar is dead. Tear that house apart. Prove who killed him.
Yeah, I'm actually in the middle of a business meeting right now.
No offense, but I'm sure you and Sonny were in the middle of talking about something really important, I'm sure. But this discussion can probably wait until a little bit later, because on the other hand, there's a beautiful, perfect golden afternoon out there, and days like this are few and far between. And it's just been a really long time since you and I have spent any time together. So, Jason, it would mean a lot to me.
Yeah, just give me a minute. I'll be right out. We're not going to solve anything this afternoon, so.
So you're gonna go to the picnic? Now I know something's wrong with you, because, I mean, it could be your secret pain. Because the Jason that I know and have worked with all these years would never just end the discussion like we're having and you know, go on a picnic. Unless you're guilty about something.
I admit it. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do.
Okay, ordinarily I would be pleased, more than pleased to offer the benefit of my counsel to the blonde one, but see, right now I have like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to prove my cyber skills to Mr. Corinthos, sir, and also prove that Stone
Right
Cold's-
now, this very minute, Scott Baldwin is in court trying to become my mother's legal guardian, and my whole family is there, and they want me to stay away because things could get ugly. Translation, Scott's gonna say a lot of awful things about my mom's breakdown, how it's my dad's fault, when really, the truth is, it's Scott's fault. If he hadn't killed Rick Weber and let my mom take the blame, my mom wouldn't have been traumatized, and my dad wouldn't have mistakenly said that she was the killer, but nobody knows what Scott really did.
Isn't that kind of how it needs to stay? Right? I mean, if you blow the whistle on Baldwin, your dad'll flip out and ice the guy, and then he'll turn all his guilt and anger inward, so you kind of have to stay silent. And isn't it easier to do that if you don't go to the hearing?
Dr. Winters, what is the name of Laura Spencer's condition?
Psychomotor dissociation.
Can you explain that to the court, please?
It's a chronic, incurable condition that develops when a patient's been catatonic too long.
So it's an emotional disorder?
No. The catatonia becomes physical in nature and is no longer affected by the patient's mental state.
Okay, but from the onset of Laura's condition, this was due to an emotional trauma, correct?
Correct.
Now, is it correct that Dr. Robin Scorpio and Dr. Patrick Drake found this drug that could temporarily reverse Mrs. Spencer's condition?
Yes.
So how did Mrs. Spencer choose to spend this precious time?
With the man she considered to be her husband, Luke Spencer, and her children.
Not with Mr. Baldwin.
Objection, Your Honor. I wasn't even in town.
Sustained.
Withdrawn. In your professional opinion, Dr. Winters, was Mrs. Spencer disoriented in any way when she checked herself into Shady Brook on November 22nd, 2006?
Absolutely not. Laura was in full possession of her faculties and aware that her condition was rapidly deteriorating. She made a conscious and informed decision to appoint her oldest child, Nicholas Cassadine, as her guardian. I was there. Laura Spencer knew exactly what she was doing.
Your Honor, I'd like to submit the doctor's reports on the time of Laura's initial breakdown. States Exhibit 5, and I'd like to have the witness read from him.
It's fine, Mr. Baldwin.
Thank you. Here you go. Now, what does the doctor say about Laura's reaction to the sight of Mr. Spencer?
She started to scream hysterically.
And do they also indicate that it was Mr. Spencer's badgering that pushed Laura to catatonia?
Yes.
I need you to go through the information Spinelli emailed, then do a run-through on your own. I want to find out what evidence Alcazar had on Rick, you know. And you know what? Forget. I'll call you back. Yeah. What do you want?
I got some information I want to pass along to you. You may already know it since your ex-wife's involved, but in case you don't, Mr. Jack's brother resurfaced. And he's a dead ringer for the guy that took the Metro Court hostage.
And you ran all the way over here to tell me about it?
I'm trying to convince you that I can be useful here, and that I'm willing to do what it takes to protect your interests.
I'm convinced. How's that? You've been wasted hanging around the Metro Court, so, you know, when you can just do some stuff for me and my organization, right?
You won't regret this.
I better not.
It's not going to be real good for your cover story if I freak out and lose it on you because you won't stop spying on me.
I wanted to thank you for your intercession with the Quartermaines. Oh.
I'm doing it for Jax, okay? I'm doing all this for Jax. And since Jax is the only person on this earth that you make a pretense of loving, why don't you do the right thing and disappear?
You know what? The only thing that justifies the hell I'm in right now and the unsurmountable amount of risks that I'm taking with my freedom, which I happen to care about, is getting to openly stay with my brother. So get used to it, because I'm not going anywhere.
Aren't you supposed to be looking for Lorenzo?
The first step is to search his house and possessions.
Well, this is unexpected. What if I refuse?
It's not an option. We have a warrant.
Well, I see you covered all your bases. Well, go ahead. Search away.
Direct me to the wall safe.
Follow me.
Officer Riley. Make sure you make a clean sweep of this room. Start with the desk. You don't know what might be in there.
What the hell is this all about?
Routine procedure in a missing persons case. Don't worry. We both know that you had nothing to do with the death of Alcazar.
I've got something. Digital recorder.
Excellent. Get it to forensics. Put a rush on it.
Yeah, I can't stay too long.
I know. I'm sorry for dragging you away from work, but I promise this will be good for us.
Have you ever resented the responsibility that goes along with being your mother's guardian?
No, quite the contrary. I'm honored that she entrusted herself into my care.
It must be very expensive.
She's my mother. Money's not a consideration in this matter.
Mr. Cassadine, did you ever have to stop Luke from having contact with Laura?
Years ago, I believed that contact with Luke could be harmful, but now I think otherwise.
Why do you think it was harmful for your mother?
Because of the psychiatrist's initial recommendation.
No other reason?
No other reason.
Do you know of any time that Luke was abusive towards your mother?
No.
You're under oath, Mr. Cassadine.
Laura never told me that Luke was abusive towards her.
That's not what I asked. But I'll move on. Do you have any recollection of a situation that happened between Luke and Laura at the campus disco on October 5th,
Objection, Your Honor,
1979?
relevance.
I assume you're going someplace specific with this?
Yes, Your Honor, I am going somewhere with this.
Overruled. Witness will answer.
Mr. Cassadine, what happened October 5th, 1979 between Luke Spencer and Laura Baldwin? Do you want me to repeat the question?
No, you don't have to read.
Well, we're waiting.
There was a rape.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
Luke